Hi guys, it's John. You are on the JRB Tree Climbing channel and you're on the playlist Knot Tying. I'd like to show you how I tie and everything I know about the sliding double fisherman's and the sliding triple fisherman's knot. Technically it's a bend, meaning it is used to join the ends of a length of cord, and it's not into a loop. It's formed into a figure of 8 like device where the size of the loops is adjustable because we've got that strand moving through that barrel. Now this is super handy for a number of applications. So for example, let's just say a trivial application. I'm walking the dog, and if I had a dog and I wanted a loop will just stay on my wrist. Well, that'll work great. Let's say I'm climbing. So here I've got a friction hitch and I've got a sliding triple fisherman's, but I sized it just perfectly so I can just put a beaner at the end of that. Let's say you were building a foot loop and you wanted to make sure that foot loop stayed on your foot. Well, you could do that with a sliding double or triple fisherman's, and obviously that would be about the size of your foot and you could cinch down on it. Okay, great. So let's take a look at this and get that into focus here. This double fisherman's, I want you to get a chance to really take a look at how these 4 bars are angled identically. And when we get onto the back side, there aren't any gaps in the rope. It's put together. Now this wasn't loaded significantly, so I'm able to do this. Those are double overhand knots, and when they get pulled together, they form those 4 identical turns. Now let me show you what happens if we don't tie it properly. So this was intentionally mistied, and this one you could see those turns, they're not angled the same way. So that we would catch in inspection. It actually looks kind of okay on the one side, but if you turn it around and catch that, we wouldn't be interested in that. And this one is close, looks decent there, but you see these gaps. So everything didn't line up properly. Well, I'm going to show you how to create this knot, and so that neither of those failure modes occur. The sliding double and triple fisherman's have a unique property compared to the standard, which is very difficult to untie. This is quite easy to untie. As long as we don't have a fixed object there, we simply slide the loop through and we get one bare end, and one just has a double overhand to undo. Okay, so let's tie a double and then a triple. And the whole key to this is ensuring that the orientation of the 2 ends is proper. So I'm right-handed, and when I tie I'll do a triple overhand knot. When I tie a triple overhand knot, I do it in this fashion. 1, 2, 3. So I'm right-handed, but I'm working back towards the left side. And if I have 3 strands to put my working end under, I've got myself a triple overhand knot. And you'll notice that the 3 turns have a bit of an angle. Well, that's what we call the right-handed chirality, and it will be seen in all of my double and triple fisherman's and sliding variants thereof. I'll always be tying with my right hand in an overhand fashion. Okay, so let's get started. The whole key to this, I'm going to take in my right hand, I'm going to take the working end. Behind it, I'll bring up the standing part. And the key here is that the other end, which is here in my left hand, goes to my left or behind the 2 strands from your vantage point. So that when I reorient, this being the working end, the strand right behind it is the other end. That's the key. For a right-handed chirality, right-handed person doing the tying, this is my working end, and that's the other end in front of it. So I've got 3 strands here pinched in my left hand, working end, and the other end is next to it. So I'm going to choose about 8, 9 inches and make that overhand, double overhand, working back towards my left hand. I'm careful not to change the orientation of the cord under my left hand, and I loosely form that double overhand. I'll reorient 180 degrees, give myself a little bit of room to work with, and make another double overhand. Try to stay out of your field of view. And I'll flip around here. I get that back into position. See, I've created that very same orientation. No gaps, angled the same way. Untie it. Quite simple. Okay, let's do a triple. This time I'll try to stay fairly horizontal. So this is my working end. I'll fold up the standing part behind it, and then the other end is here, the tallest strand, and I'll ensure that stays on top. So I'm good to go. Working end, and that's the other end I'm working towards. For a triple, need about 12 inches. 1, 2, 3 full turns. I know I'm done when I've got 3 strands to work that end under. A little tricky to do this and hopefully stay in your field of view. So that's one triple overhand. I reorient 180 degrees, locate the other one, the other end. So I need just a little bit more because I want a little room to work here with my left hand. So from my pinch point on my thumb and forefinger on my left hand, I've got about that same 12 inches, and I'll go over 1, 2, 3 times. We'll work that back under those 3 strands. And let me reorient here. There we've got 6 bars all angled the same way, and on the back side, no gaps. So I'll be using the sliding triple Fishermans in a number of applications, and here on this rope, this is my JRB ascender hitch. I've got a separate playlist on that. That's a friction hitch with a handle, and I typically close the loop with a hunter's bend. But when I don't need the bridge mode, I can use a sliding double or sliding triple, and so we'll explore that on the other playlist. But I needed you to have some background on how to tie it, and so why don't you practice that, and I'll see you over on the JRB Ascender playlist. Thank you.